I'm back with another dating profile. We got Cynthia here, 32. I'm not gonna show her full face. No, I'm not gonna leak her Instagram. Somebody sent me this, but we're gonna read the bio. Here comes the crazy delusion. Mama of 5, God first. My kids are my world, but I make time for love, growth, and the gym. I am hopeless romantic, a wife at heart. I can definitely tell you're a hopeless romantic because you got 5 kids. And I've learned my heart isn't meant for casual. When did you learn this? After the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th kid? I value consistency, intentions, and commitment. I don't think you value commitments as much as you think you do. If you're in my life, it's because I believe we're building towards something meaningful. I'm looking for the holy matrimony kind of love. Casual dating, X. I want to ask an honest question. Ladies, for those of you who are in her same predicament with multiple kids, why the do y'all do this to yourself? Never mind, I know the answer. I'm going to tell you why you do it. Society doesn't shame y'all enough. You guys make mistakes. Society says it's okay. Men don't know how to handle you. Men don't know how to appreciate you. It's not your fault. It's their fault. Yes, it's definitely all fault that you're a mama of 5. You make bad decisions and you still get praised for it. Y'all don't get held accountable. And then you shift the blame saying, oh, it's the men. So if it's men that are the problem, why you decide to go get pregnant by so much different men? And I'm pretty sure, this is my assumption, that all 5 of her kids are not from one man. It's at least 3. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Write in the comments if you think she's gonna find what she's looking for. Yeah, that's all of this stuff at the bottom. Or you think she's delusional.
Talking to my partner, they say, you gotta do all that shit. When she call, you gotta go. You paying for shit, you opening the door, and you... I just don't get... Nigga, let me tell you something. See, my little shit know she pressure. So I gotta treat her good. See, my little shit, she educated. She well-mannered. She got money. Her nails good. Her skin good. See, I gotta treat her good. I gotta step up. See, what I don't want, right, is her to walk outside and then another open the door for her, right? Another willing to pay for her, right? Another nigga willing to do something that she thinks. I mean, even remotely thinks that I won't just run and do. Hands down. I can't have that. Cause see, my little shit won't be, can't do that.
He gon' her if she cheat.
She knows she pressure, and I know
Nigga
she
crazy for real. Have y'all ever noticed that the way women complain about us don't add up to the way these be acting like they treat their girls? But the women always reposting it. They always liking the They just so eager to believe everything a nigga say. But then they on here telling us that we liars. And it's a fact. We just gotta believe that. It don't add up. Motherfuckers be just saying anything for real. Cause guess what? Everything you just talked about running and doing, she can do herself. And whenever she mad, she'll remind you, I don't need a man. I can do this myself. Matter of fact, their favorite one is if one man won't, the next one will. So this is all basic. Imagine if you think you special because you can do what a woman can do. You ain't different to her. You ain't different because you can do what other men can do. See, I'm the type that was going to get water from my ex, but I never in my mind believe I got to do this. Otherwise, another going to come and do it. If she open that door, I don't with her anyways. That's what y'all don't talk about. It's levels to this. So either this nigga's a simp and he gonna get played, or he a pimp and he finna play somebody. But it's so easy, ain't it? Subscribe to my YouTube, Planet Reality.
And you know, even though the world tries to shame men are not wrong for asking what they receive in return. That's a natural question. That's a fair question. Too many times modern women get upset with that. They think that they've already proven their value by just showing up. But that's not really how things work. You need to be doing something. You need to be reciprocating. You need to be, and proud of it, bringing something to the relationship other than, oh, you know, I just sit here and look pretty.
I get a lot of DMs and emails from women thanking me for talking about leaving a good guy or walking away from a relationship where there's no obvious villain. I honestly think this conversation needs to happen a lot more, because not every divorce story is he cheated on me. He ruined my entire life. Sometimes that's the story, but sometimes it's even more complicated than that, because the guy actually is a good person. Sometimes he's a good dad and kind and genuinely cares about you. There's just still something inside of you that knows you disappeared in the relationship a long time ago. And a lot of women really struggle with that because they think they need a courtroom level case to justify leaving. Like, unless someone betrayed you or traumatized you or you, your unhappiness isn't a good enough reason. Then a lot of those women stay longer than they want to because they feel so guilty, especially if you're the type of woman who grew up surviving. That means you learned to prioritize safety over alignment. You learned that keeping the peace was what was most important. You learned to smile, perform, push through, make things work. That's why a lot of my clients don't even realize how disconnected they've been from themselves until sometimes decades later. You could spend years trying to convince yourself, it's fine, I should be grateful, he's a good man. But meanwhile, your nervous system, your body, your emotions, your spirit are trying to tell you this is not the life that you really want to live. And it's hard to leave a relationship like that. Sometimes nobody is the bad guy. It's just two people who aren't aligned anymore.
And there's a lot of modern women that continue to say that a man's preference or a man's standard or a man's boundary, honestly and truly, is him hating women or him being bitter and unhealed and having a lot of emotional trauma because that's their go-to. But the fact of the matter is, just because his preference excludes you, it doesn't mean that he hates you. Just because his standard is somebody who needs to put some clothes on doesn't mean that he hates you and he's what do they call it, an insecure man. That's a boundary.
The main reason that I don't care about the male only epidemic, besides the fact that I made a video saying that's not even a real thing, but let's just, for the sake of bringing it up, use that language, is because if it was an actual serious issue, men would actually try to address it a little bit more seriously. Like, we have to hear about it all the time, yet you never see any of them actually doing anything to address it as an issue that needs to be fixed. I mean, using the language epidemic, let's go to pandemic, for example. You can't just use the word pandemic and then see nothing happening at all and see nobody trying to do anything about it, because nobody's then going to take it seriously. And the thing is that regardless of who you blame, whether it's the women being all a bunch of bitches or men being asocial or everyone just being on their phones too much or whatever you want to say it is, if nobody is trying to actually address an issue and they're just going to sit there complaining, why the should I care about it? Or anyone else for that matter? Like, you can't make me worried that this is a big issue if you won't even treat it like a big issue yourself. Like, I've gotten a lot of DMs, especially in, like, from the last couple of videos, basically calling me callous and horrible and mean. But the thing is that where is your activism? You know, like, where is the urgency to make me care? Huh? Like, if you can present to me evidence that the vast majority of men are genuinely acting as if this is an urgent issue that must be changed and we must rally, okay, maybe I'll start taking it a little bit seriously, because then I'll see that you guys really need that help that you claim to desperately need. But none of you have done that, and thus I'm going to sit here and just ignore it, as I always have and probably always will. That doesn't make me horrible. That's just me reading the room.
And what modern women fail to understand is that men hurt very clearly. I don't need no man. I'm strong and independent. Oh, I can just make a phone call. Men are hearing this type of stuff, right? And now you have a lot of these modern women that are upset that men listen to it. And now they say, oh, well, you don't need me. Let me go ahead and do what I need to do. Let me go across town. Let me go hang with the boys. Y'all don't need us, right? Oh, I don't need you. Oh, okay. So when that person comes to mess you up and that person comes to put something on you, person comes to take your belongings, I guess you don't need me then either, right?
Clubs will forever be the worst place to meet women. The drinks are overpriced. These girls be real drug addicts. I mean, you already know she probably mollied out, coked out, ketamined out, just drugged out. All you gonna meet in most of these clubs, bro, is just heavy drug users, alcohol abusers. Like, these women just be drugged out at these spots, man. There's no type of real connection you're gonna really make, especially if you're in these cities like Miami, LA, New York. I mean, yes, you're gonna run into a lot of beautiful women in these scenes, but these are never high value women in totality. I mean, in reality, right? I mean, when's the last time you've been to a club, you met a girl, and you actually had a really nice date with the girl you met from a club? It's rarely ever, right? And so you're going to these places, you're spending more money than necessary, you know, you're your body, you're meeting low quality women. Yes, you can get the occasional one night stands, but the risk in returns to the reward, it's just so low. I mean, even think about these times when you go to a club, you see a girl you like, you're buying her drinks, and then you walk away for a few minutes, you come back, she's talking to another guy. That's just the outcome of clubs. You're going there and it's a dice roll. Is it fun at times? Absolutely. But but it's never a consistent area to meet women. You're better off meeting women just during the day when you're out and about doing anything normal. Those are going to be the highest quality women to meet. If you're struggling with your dating life, you want more help, you want to improve your approach, improve your image, I coach men, I fly to you in person and help you secure your ideal woman. DM me app.
And modern women, when we come to this idea of body count, well, you know, my past shouldn't matter. The things that I did in the past, they should be all washed away. Maybe, but they're not, because that man's past isn't washed away. There's certain things that he did you want to know about. He's like, well, just give me details so I know what I'm getting into. And oh, by the way, he could be telling me the truth, but I'm going to go get a background check because I don't know this man. Okay, well, if the past that you're looking at, his past, matters to you, then your past and what you've been doing matters to him.
A lot of the men that I used to be attracted to, they don't got ugly as and they think you say that women hit the wall fast, but they hit the wall fast. I'm talking about gaining weight, bare bellies, receding hairlines.
Well, that's the problem. Y'all always worried about these physical features. People are going to change. People look like one thing in their 20s and they look like another thing in their 40s and their 50s and 60s. So if that's what you basing everything on about dating people, then baby, you gonna be single by yourself because that changes. Shit drop and everything. That's a part of life. Getting old.
And overall, just not taking care of themselves. So if anything, it's really men that need to be in a gym, starting at a young age.
Girl, what? No, it's these women that need to get in the gym, because men, baby, they can go in the gym and in 6 months they ass then slimmed up. Us women, we go to the gym and that shit take about 6 years. So no, everybody just needs to take care of themselves in general. Like, it's not a man or a woman, it's everybody in general need to take care of themselves. Period, point blank.
These men need to get their asses in the gym. Cause like, you can look at a man and tell that he don't take care of himself.
And this is one of those situations where the pot is calling the kettle black.
And modern women, what's funny about them is that they'll demand a man be a protector. Oh, I want a man in his doubles, triples, super masculine. I want a man to just stand up and fight for me. I will if you stop embarrassing me. I will if you stop getting me into trouble. I will if you keep your hands to yourself. Right? A lot of these modern women go out there. It's funny because they find the most dangerous person in the room and start jaw-jacking. And when that person steps to put them in their place, oh, my man is this. No, your man's not. Your man is over there enjoying a drink at the bar, which is what you need to be doing. You need to find a seat.
I'm going to share a story with you why I don't date women with children. And believe me, I wish I was creative enough to make up these stories, but I'm not. Unfortunately, this really happened to me. So I'm going on my third date. I get invited over to her house and she wants to watch a movie and have some takeout. So I show up with takeout. She answers the door and she's bawling her eyes out, which was obviously very unexpected. And she begins to explain to me that her dog is super sick and her ex has her dog and she doesn't know what to do and he's going to die and all this. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she's like, I have to go. Can you watch my kids? Now, in a normal situation, I probably would have just left, but I didn't know what to do. So I said, okay. I sat there for an hour and a half, played Legos with a 5 and 3-year-old until her friend showed up and then I left. Welcome to my life, dating in 2025.
Wow, I did not expect that. You know, I thought it was going to be like the typical story where a woman goes out to dinner with a man and she demands that he like also pay for some to-go meals for her kids. Look, guys, I'm going to tell you, as a prior single mom, it is not the end of the world, huge red flag, purely out of her being a single mom. But I will on the hill that it is a red flag for a single mom to introduce her kids to you super early on. Because that means that you are not the first one that she has introduced them to that early on, and you are not the last. She is essentially desensitized, especially for a woman to go as far as to just leave her kids with you. I mean, for single moms, for moms in general, her children are the most important things in her life, and she will be protective of that, even if her dog ends up before she gets there. So yeah, safe to say, this guy dodged a bullet.
And what a lot of men are starting to realize is that the wedding, a lot of times, is about the woman. It's about what she wants. It's about her feelings. But when you go and you get divorced, divorce is about paperwork. It's about, hey, this is what you owe me. This is what you're going to give me. And really, that's what the relationship has been like for a lot of men. Well, I just feel like this, and I just want this, and men have to go along with your feelings and provide the tangible, the reality, the real stuff. So you talk about your feelings, and a man has to cater to those feelings. And he said, man, I'm tired of doing that. I don't want to do that no more. Men are opting out of that type of stuff, man.
No one on this app is talking about the number one reason why marriages are ending up in divorce nowadays. Now, don't get me wrong. Women are making a lot of mistakes in marriage. Of course, men make a lot of mistakes in marriage. Women making a lot of mistakes. But the number one mistake that is happening, I believe, is on the man's side. It's the fact that the man forgets that he is part of a team. Now, I've worked with a lot of men, spoken to a lot of men as a men's coach. And the number one thing that I see is there's a certain point within the marriage or the relationship where a man starts feeling overwhelmed and he stops growing. He stops growing, he gets complacent, and he stops being present within the relationship. Now, the woman is just going to notice that, call it out. She's getting fed up with it, okay? But she calls it out, maybe not in a nice way, maybe not in a nice tone, but she will always call it out and be like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? You said you were going to do this. All of these kind of things, because she sees, like, I had a teammate next to me, and all of a sudden I have somebody, let's say you're on a boat and you're both supposed to be rowing, all of a sudden you just stopped. You just stopped. She's like, just keep rowing, right? We're in this together. We're a team. That's what she knows. But he starts thinking that she's the enemy. Starts thinking that she's the enemy because guess what? All he wants is peace. I just want peace and quiet. Why doesn't she just shut up for a moment? But that's the number one thing that's ending your marriage. It's complacency, men. When you stop, you make her have to pick up extra slack. Life is not necessarily easy. Life will not necessarily give you peace. And if you forget that your wife is the number one teammate in this world, that is why your marriage is ending. So don't look at her like the enemy. She's pulling you forward.
And, they were talking about monkey branching. And I think my boy Decode Dating, is basically saying you have to be the best option. No, I don't. If she ain't looking at me like that, then I don't care nothing about what she's talking about. I don't, man. I'm too old. I don't have time for it. If you don't like me, if you're not looking at me like actually considering me, I don't care nothing about what you got going on. You're not for me. There's plenty of pretty women out there that's going to give me the time of day. Might not look the greatest, might not look like one of these, whatever you call them, models on TV. But if I like them and they meet my needs, then that's probably who I'm going to go with, to be honest with you. A lot of these modern women like to come out here and waste your time. And that's one of the things I definitely don't like. Modern women wasting my time? Absolutely not. I'm not the best for you. Get the heck up out of my face.
Ladies, here's the thing. We want men to be husbands. We want the rings and the things. But family, we cannot advocate for marriage without addressing the full picture, the elephant in the room. Women aren't bred to be wives today. Past generations have raised us up to pursue a career. Forget the man. He's an afterthought. Because when the man act up, you have an out, that degree that you can fall back on. And now, family, we have women who have been bred to be more of a husband than a wife. Let's keep it real. What is society teaching us? Look at the propaganda. Look at the social media. We can't continue to come at men for their lack of commitment, but not also state the obvious. There's a shortage of women worth making long-term or lifelong commitments to. We aren't training up wives. We're training up hypersexual, petty, money-hungry, cannot take any accountability, insecure, immature, women that can't even cover a pot, let alone a man, women with the mentality that anything goes as long as I'm making $1 from it, hyper independent, attention seeking, career obsessed, not nurturing, selfish, girlfriend at best women. We want men to lock things down. And I agree, men should. But we gotta give them something worth committing to. And our media isn't pushing that agenda. It's keeping us single. So family, ladies, stop buying the lies of culture. That's what's keeping us single. Let us start focus on becoming the wife that God has created you to be.
Today we have 3 things that are actually green flags. I know I talk a lot about red flags and all of the bad that women do out here today, but today we're going to get into some of the good things that you guys probably didn't think about. Number 3, leaves her phone face up. If you guys are on a date or you're at dinner, she leaves her phone face up, or if she goes to the bathroom, leaves her phone at the table. If you ask her, oh, let me see your phone for a second, she hands you her phone unlocked, that's a green flag. She ain't hiding anything. No woman that's hiding something from you is gonna leave that phone unattended. That's for sure. Especially unlocked. She ain't handing you her phone. So green flag. Number 2, hasn't been places. Guys want a girl that hasn't been anywhere. You wanna know why? Because he wants to be the one to show her places. Nothing worse than if you're gonna go on a date to a nice restaurant with a woman and she's like, oh yeah, I've been here before. It was all right. It ruins the whole beauty of the process of bringing your woman to something nice. She's already been there with another guy. It's just not as special anymore. And number 1, doesn't know anybody. You don't want a lady who knows everybody. Nothing worse than that. You walk into a restaurant and the whole staff, oh, hi, Sarah, haven't seen you in a while. It's like, who you been here with? Why do they all know you? You go to the bar, she knows the bouncer. You don't want a girl that knows everybody. So these are 3 green flags that are more low-key. You got to put a little bit more time and effort into figuring out if they're present. But if they are, some really good green flags, some good qualities. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk today, and I'll see you at the same time again tomorrow.
You know, there was a woman pushing her app talking about, you know, take this or leave this. But, you know, she said she was a mom. And she said she was a mom. I think this is the same woman talking about, I want a man to pay a deposit in order to take a woman out. Just stupidity. Just stupidity. And you're continuing to sit back and listen to these modern women and understand why they still are where they are. As pretty as you want to be. Fine, looking good, bodies tea and all that stuff. But any and every time they open their mouth, it's going to be something stupid. It's going to be something stupid. At some point in time, it's going to be something dumb. Period. End of story. You can count on modern women to say something dumb and say it with confidence and think that a man is going to be like, yeah, that makes sense. A simp will, but a man that respects himself and a man that has any kind of common sense, half a brain, she's gonna be like, nah, she's stupid. She looks nice, but she's an idiot.